When Sam got bigger and started pulling, I spent about 6 months trying to stop it. I was strong enough to hold him, but it was hard on my shoulders, especially my right shoulder, and it was way worse for my wife, who's not as big as I am. So I did what everyone does. I watched videos on YouTube, and harnesses were all the rage, right? So I bought a harness, and it didn't work, so I thought I had the wrong harness. I got another one. In the end, I got 4, and none of them worked. And I really started second guessing myself. Is it the harness, or is it my training? Is he untrainable? Is it an inconsistency between how my wife and I walk him? And we just kept making the walk worse. It wasn't getting any better. And this guy wasn't full weight yet. Sam was around 95 pounds at the time, and we had no idea why nothing was working. None. Till we figured out that we'd been solving the problem wrong. The answer comes down not to which one you get, but where the clip attaches. And that changes everything. Most people who ask me about harnesses want to know which brand I like. And I understand that instinct because I ask that question a lot. That was my question. But it turns out it's the wrong question. The right question is, where does that leash clip on? What part of the harness does it clip to? Front or back? That's it. That's the whole decision. And for some reason, most videos don't even mention that. It matters. Dogs pulling is driven by, it's called oppositional reflex. And it turns out that means when I pull the leash, he pulls in the opposite direction, but harder. And it's not stubbornness, it's learned. I taught him by letting him do it. And a back clip harness, any back clip harness, triggers that reflex. You pull back, they pull the other way. Just think sled dogs pulling together. The walk becomes a tug of war battle. So my first 2 harnesses were back clip harnesses. I really like this one. This is a Julius K9. It's popular, it's good looking, has a Velcro patch for your dog's name. And very similar one, the EziDog. Basically the same harness. They're really well made. Sam's comfortable in both of them. And when he's strapped in, man, he feels secure. I like how they look. I like how they look like they mean business. And I like that the leash attaches up on their back because it rarely tangles in their leg when the leash rarely tangles because it's attached up high. But what they didn't do, they didn't stop the pulling. And that's bad if your dog is strong. I realized they are made strong enough to easily handle a lot of pulling, but they're not meant to reduce it. And they don't even claim to reduce it. But that's not how I shop for them. I saw the word harness, I saw padded, I assumed that meant they would help. They didn't. Not with a dog that was already pulling. With the Julius K9 and the EziDog on Sam, it just got worse. He had a perfect harness for pulling. He learned how to pull harder. No improvement, none. I was still getting dragged. Back clip harnesses are the right tool for a dog who doesn't pull, or a dog who's already leash trained, or a small dog where the pulling isn't a physical hazard. For a large dog, though, a strong dog who's actively pulling you down the sidewalk, wrong tool. That matters. It doesn't get clearly said enough in the harness reviews I've seen either. A front clip harness clips at the chest, right in the center. And that changes the physics. When Sam pulls forward into a front clip, the leash tries to unwrap itself from around him. There's still a pull, but not in the direction he wants to go. It steers him sideways, off his line, so to speak. He loses that forward momentum, and he has to recalibrate his direction. He can't lean in. The oppositional reflex doesn't engage in the same way because he's not going straight anymore. Is it pain? No. Is it uncomfortable? Not when it's fitted correctly. It's redirection. That's the entire mechanism. When your dog pulls, the harness turns him. Enough repetitions, and he started choosing to give to leash pressure. My daily driver has been the PetSafe EasyWalk. It's not the most elegant harness. Sam's worn it long enough that it's a little scuffed now. For pull control, though, on a dog who's now 108 pounds, it's the one that I use. The change when I first put it on him, it wasn't gradual change, not eventually, immediately. Within the first 5 minutes of the first walk, I could feel the difference in my shoulder, in my forearm, and that's not a small thing when you're sore after being in a 6-month battle. There is a minor trade-off for the front clip style, and that's that the chest ring is much lower. If your dog changes direction a lot like Sam, they're more likely to get the leash under their legs. It's annoying when it happens, but I'll take that over hard pulling every day. This is the 4th harness that I tested. This is the Ruffwear front range, and it's different because it's got a back clip point, and a front clip point, back and front. It's a more premium harness. It's well built, it's padded, it's durable. I really like the way the strap spacing is like more away from the shoulder joints. If you're doing longer hikes or your dog is reactive, I like this one. And the dual leash setup gives you something the EasyWalk doesn't. You can do two-handed steering. Front clip in one hand, back clip in the other. You can stabilize the harness, prevent it from rotating, and use both hands to guide a big dog. Is it my daily driver? No, not at least using both clips. I find that it's effective, but it's very fussy. You're busy. I'm starting to use it more though with just the front clip because I like the way it fits on the shoulder. The EasyWalk is simpler and faster to put on, but on longer walks or when Sam is in a reactive mood, this is becoming my choice now. I use it basically on the front clip only. The cost is also pretty real. EasyWalk's about $25 to $30. These are closer to $70. So for daily use, this one earns its keep, but if you've got the money, I think this one's worth it. Right? I want to push back on something, not because I think these harnesses are perfect, but there is a common misunderstanding that I keep seeing. Some people try a front clip harness and tell me the dog still pulls. And I do believe that because that's exactly what happened. This was one of my first 4. What was happening is that the front strap was too loose and the ring was able to move off to the side when he pulled. He was getting his weight behind it, but he wasn't being turned sideways. So he was turned a bit, but he could still get his weight behind him and he could still pull in the direction he wanted to go. The harness was doing the wrong job because it wasn't fit properly and the hookup spot wasn't in the right place. That front ring needs to sit centered on the sternum, right on the breastbone. Get that right and the redirection works the way it's supposed to. Get it wrong and you'll swear that this does not work. And you'll be wrong, but for an understandable reason. So check the fit before you write this off. So here's where I land on all 4. The Julius K9, great harness, tough, I think it looks great. 0 pull control, right tool for dogs that already walk nicely. EziDog, same verdict, comfortable, well made, not a training tool for pullers. If you want to be pulled on a skateboard, this is your one. Ruffwear front range, I think it's premium and I think it's versatile. The dual clip genuinely works. And I think it's worth the price if you want options on different walks. PetSafe EasyWalk, I've been using this as my daily driver. I'm moving a little bit to the Ruffwear. It's unimpressive looking, but it's darned effective on a big dog, okay? The takeaway isn't about brand loyalty. The key is knowing what each one actually does and then matching that to what you need for your dog and your training. A back clip harness on a pulling dog isn't a bad choice. It's just the wrong choice. And the wrong choice can make a hard situation significantly harder. I spent 6 months making Sam's walks worse than they needed to be. Not because I didn't care, because I couldn't quite understand how these harnesses were supposed to work. The front clip, the clip being on the front changes the physics of the walk. The back clip doesn't. And that's not a knock on back clip harnesses. They're the right tool in the right situation. If you want your dog to pull, especially, they're really good. But if you're fighting a strong dog in all conditions, you need the physics working for you and not against you. So anyone who tells you clip position doesn't matter probably hasn't walked a dog this size on a winter morning when the footing's bad and when you're already sore from him pulling. It matters. If you've got a specific situation, specific breed, size that you're struggling with on walks, drop a question in the comments and I'll respond. I read every one. I'm John. This is Sam. Thank you and happy training.